Yes, guys. How are ya? How you doing? Welcome back. It's Tuesday. It's the 10th of February. And ladies and gentlemen, it's game day. What's crack-a-lacking? I apologise. No content from this chump for the last 72 hours. But we're back. We're back. We've got some things to talk about. What's cracking? Big day today. Big day. Massive day. Absolutely humongous, humongoid. Where's my alien mask when you need it? You know, where's the alien mask when you need it? It's over there. I want to bring it on, introduce you to my alien self, my reptilian self, because that's what we do here. You know, in a world where Tottenham Hotspur are on the verge of a relegation battle, then I can't really talk about transfer news, views, and clues with you, even at this early stage of the pre-nuptials towards a next transfer day, because we don't even know if we're going to be in the Premier League. And so what does that mean? Well, Butler's got to start to transition his content into stupidity, hasn't he? So, you know, that's where the guitar's been coming from. That's where the wigs and the accents, that's where the jingles, all of that stuff is a long sought out plan. It's a strategy to transition this channel from Tottenham specifically to just donut-esque behaviour. And I wanted to have the alien. I wanted to have the alien mask to introduce to you. I've also been working on my Pochettino accent. I'm not going to deliver it today, but I think he's coming back, guys. I think he's coming back. And so we'll have to, at some point, essentially sunset my Thomas Frank. Oh, Sean, don't do that. Work harder, better. I'm not gone yet. To a little bit of Poch. I'm not going to do it yet. I know you're all in. I can tell by the time. I can tell by the comments coming in that you're a little bit curious about what my Pochettino is going to sound like. You don't need to know yet. You don't need to know. However, he has said a few things, and it makes you go, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. He tells you what you want to hear. Unlike Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank tells you what you need to hear. Players like Ange, managers like Ange, managers like Poch, they tell you what you want to hear. And I think that there needs to be a little bit of that in the recipe, in the cocktail, in the mix. If you're pouring yourself a Long Island iced tea, and by Jove, have I poured myself several in the past, you need to make sure there's a little bit of spice in there, a little bit of salt and pepper on the steak. And I think this is where Thomas Frank might have just lost his sort of touch with the fan base, because he might have said all of the things that were true and honest and sincere and real. But you know, when Pochettino comes out and says what he says yesterday, he's angling for a move, and the things that he said, well, it landed. It landed. Let's be honest. Just like when Ange Postecoglou said, mate, I don't always win. Sorry. When I said I usually win a trophy I misspoke. I always win a trophy in my second year. Nothing's changed. Even though he also said, I promise you a title challenge in my second year. I did this, I did that, yada, yada, yada. Multiple speaking in tongues like the alien mask, right? People remember the things that you say. And if you say the things that turn out to be right all the time, and then you try to forget the things, you never mention again the things that didn't materialize, that's salesman stuff. And you know what? If you're trying to sell something, and in life, we are all salespeople. We are all trying to sell something, whether it's sell your personality to your missus, sell the reason why you're allowed out with the boys, and why you didn't get home on time to your mum or dad if you're younger. We're all selling things, right? We're all salespeople in life. I think Thomas Frank. I think when people said he was a professor, I think they were right. Because academics, they're not interested in sales. They work under their own. They work under their own sort of economy, data, sort of dreary waffle. But it's all based on some sort of methodology. In real life, you need to convince people. You need to win people over. Even if you end up going down with the ship, you need to say things that get people on board the ship that you're going to send to the bottom of the ocean. I think Ange did it to a degree. And to this day, there are still the Angophiles out there, the Angesexuals that compare everything to him. And I think Pochettino is angling for a move, guys. I think he's angling. I think he's positioning himself by saying what he said. I haven't even told you what he said yet. I'm sure you have seen it. But he's talking about Tottenham at this level. Even if he doesn't mean it. When you compare the three managers, right? The ex, the current, and the probable next. You've got the ex saying, I always win trophies in the second year, mate. You got the next guy saying Tottenham belong at the Champions League table. Tottenham belong at the title end of the table. Tottenham belong in Champions League finals. And the guy in the middle, the guy we currently have, who's struggling to win anybody over, he might have been the most honest and sincere of them all. But when he says with his first words, one thing's for sure. We are going to lose games. They're going to lose games. Who are you winning over with that? This is football. This is fandom. Well, you need to buy in. We need to buy in. And you were right. You were honest. You were sincere. But you know what? Sincerity only gets you so far. It does. You know, when your wife says to you, hey, do I look good in this? Or does this dress make me look fat? And you said, no, the dress doesn't make you look fat. Your love handles make you look fat. What are we doing here? You know, sincerity and honesty gets you so far. Sometimes you need to sell a little bit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? How's everybody doing anyway? Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit the notification bell if you haven't already, because this channel goes live whenever we can find the energy, the energistic. And that's what we do here. Hit the comment section as well. Let me know a thing or two about a thing or two. And don't forget, guys, OK Jersey is the sponsor of today's show. Wonderful OK Jersey. 8% off with code Sean at checkout. You know what to do. And if you're an international fan who's looking for your international repertoires for the summer season of football, then they've updated all of their stuff. So get yourself over there. You know what to do. Adisa Club. What's going on with why is that every couple of days it goes back to old school classic settings? Let's get smaller. What is happening, guys? Let's get to the chat. I've got a lot to talk about with you this afternoon, and then we've got a big evening ahead of us. Massive game. It's huge. Newcastle fans thinking Tottenham will win. Tottenham fans thinking Newcastle will win. One thing's for sure. If Newcastle score first, we ain't winning. Because we literally, how bad is this? We haven't played a game this season where we have won a game where we conceded first. If I'm Eddie Howe, I just say, guys, have you heard this stat? Simple, guys. Just start the game early. Get a goal in the first 15 minutes. Go 1-0 up. Worst case scenario, you're leaving with a point. Best case scenario, we're leaving with 3. That's a ta-ta. Anyway, let's find out how the chat's doing. Big up to Crazy Bumfrog, member of the show. We need a big performance tonight. Big up to Q for Life, member of the show. Newcastle concede late and we only turn up at the end. So, yeah, but will the damage be done? Let me slow to the... Oh, we got a Box Kev super sticker of the things that dreams are made of. Big up to you, Boxy. How are you, my man? How are you, buddy? Thank you so much, as always. He just pops in at the start of a show, just drops a cheeky 20. Mate, you're a very generous human being. You're a very, very generous, my man. I appreciate you so much. Thank you very much, Kev. I hope you're okay, mate. I hope it's early over there. It's early. Well, you're 8 hours behind, so that would mean it's like 6:45 a.m. you having your cereal? Are you having your toast? What do you eat for breakfast? Let me know. Let me know, Kev. Thank you very much indeed. Who else we got? The Bozos are in the house. James Flower's in the gaff. Big up to James Flower, complete bozo. He popped on. We did a WhatsApp group call this morning when I was out with the dog, and as soon as James Flower dropped on, I had to click off and cancel this. Can't have that. Can't have him coming in just spoiling the energy of the chat. But then I also realised that it was a great chat, but you can't do it again because if you can't monetize it, I'm accused all day long of only being a monetization monster. It's what it is. I think, guys, we can't. This is fantastic content, but if we can't monetize this, then what are we doing here? Big up to you, Flower. Big up to Drewski's in the house. Big up James, he says. Big up to you. Big up to you. We got members in the house saying all things trucking. Big up to you, Butler, you king. Don't know about that, mate. Don't know about that. Appreciate you though. Jez is saying yes, guys. Yes, guys. James is in the house as well. Afternoon, Sean and chat. Big up to you. Elvis G's in the house. Good afternoon. Bourbon buzzing. Look at the members are in. The members are in today. Afternoon, all getting to the point where I dread games but look forward to the watchalongs. The watchalong is what? 7:30 tonight, isn't it? The game starts. So, is it 7:30? I think it's a bit earlier, isn't it? Yeah. So 6:30 start here. And then depending on the result, just quickly, depending on the result, we have a chance of doing a post-match show, or we might just go and do rabbit hole ramblings. So rabbit hole could be on tonight. It's definitely on tomorrow, though, if it's not tonight, for sure. Big up to you, Jimmy. Big up to 2 Marks. Big up to Trevor. What's going on? Butler, I'm thinking of having a beer already. I'm worried for tonight. Yeah, mate, what are you saying, joining? Dude, what are you talking about? I've been up since 5 a.m. Got my work done for the day. I'm now in evening mode. It's what we do here, B. Jobson. It's what we do, BJ Opson 1. Pulled a bird and felt her up in the Uber. Big up to you. Emma Morton. Do I know anything about a multi-year partnership with Infinox? No. Is that true? Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, I do. I can tell you about it right now. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's bring it in. Bring it in. Tottenham Hotspur have announced a partnership with Infinox. We are delighted to announce a multi-year partnership with online trading platform Infinox. Chose to partner with the club owing to the... Is it on the screen? It's not even on the screen. Come on, Butler. You're better than that. Get yourself up for this. We've got a show to do. Showtime. It's showtime. Infinox chose to partner with the club owing to the size of our international fan base, with a number of initiatives planned that will target Infinox's audience across Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America. We will be working with Infinox on engaging our supporters through additional initiatives to promote informed participation and performance development around online trading. The partnership will also see Infinox promoted through in-stadium branding at Tottenham Hotspur and via content promoted across our club channels. This, to me, sounds like one of the stand sponsors. We spoke about this, guys. We spoke about this, didn't we? I'm not sure if it's official yet, but it's obviously a big deal. Ryan Norris, Chief Revenue Officer at Tottenham, said Infinox brings a strong international presence and a clear focus on regulated financial services. As our club continues to engage fans globally, partnerships of this nature play an important role in how we connect with international audiences. Elena Moisiva, CMO at Infinox, commented, Tottenham Hotspur has built a genuinely international audience, particularly in markets where digital financial participation is growing quickly. This partnership reflects our focus on engaging globally mobile informed clients through trusted regulated platforms. Founded in 2009, Infinox is a diversified global financial services organization that offers liquidity, technology, and risk management solutions to a wide range of clients. Let me have a little look-see about Infinox. Just quickly. It's a CFD trading account. Okay. It's a CFD. But it doesn't provide services to UK clients. Oh my God. It doesn't. I was like, why haven't I heard of Infinox? I was like, this is part of my world. Why haven't I heard of Infinox? They don't provide services to the UK clients, but they're going to buy into a Tottenham Hotspur team. Oh, that is priceless. That is absolutely priceless. Gee whiz. Gee whiz. So listen, let me see. Does Infinox do crypto? I wouldn't be surprised. Do they do crypto? Yes, they do. Yeah. Okay. So it's CF. It's contract for difference trading. Essentially, contract for differences are essentially it's gambling. So it's in the UK. If it was available in the UK, then CFDs are essentially tax-free trading, right? So you put up your money on a particular bet or whatever. If you think that the market's going to go up, you buy Nvidia or you buy Vodafone shares, whatever you want. But you're not actually buying the stock. You're buying a contract for the difference. So you're not actually owning the stock. You're owning the value of the stock in like its own kind of different guise. And then should you make money on it, it's essentially like gambling. So it's tax free. But that's hilarious. I've never heard of Infinox, but there you go. That's why they're not available. They're not available in the UK. Synthetic markets, exactly, Melbourne. Me, yeah, 100%. That's so fun. It's typically Tottenham, isn't it? We got a new partner, a new sponsor, massive deal. Oh yeah, yep. Can I get involved? Not if you're in the UK. Well, there you go. Didn't see that one today. Didn't see that coming. I'll be interested to know if they are going to take over one of the stands. With the fact that they're doing throughout the stadium branding and all this stuff, it's obviously a lucrative deal. That guy, Ryan Norris, seems to he knows a thing or two about a thing or two. He's clearly very, I liked what he said the other day we did a video on him the other day, didn't we? About his plans for the stadium naming rights deal and how he was saying that there's what I've said to you guys for years, that there's a value in not having it. There's a value in having it. Obviously, we're getting to the point now where the stadium itself is no longer going to be the best stadium, quote unquote, best stadium in the world. There's other stadiums that are popping up that are going to emulate and imitate what we've done and add things that we didn't do. And so there's diminishing returns on how long that value lasts for. And Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, that kind of thing, has a difficult to quantify value, but certainly a real value in those things. What is that on my hat? Oh, no. Anyway, so that's one of our sponsors. But yeah, it doesn't look like they're, I don't know what they might end up, they might be like more on one particular stand. Like they say, it might become the Infinox stand, just like the other one. What was the other one called? Sports Illustrated, right? SI, yeah. There used to be just bikini models in a magazine in the 90s and noughties, and now it's some sort of ticketing company. That's obviously the way that they're going. They're trying to build a war chest. But you know what? Like I say, guys, I'm not really interested in any of this stuff right now. I don't know where to go as a content creator right now because the January transfer window, I got kind of bored of looking at Team Talk and Dean Jones and Graham Bailey's just sitting there pumping out any old bollocks and me bringing it to your attention. I started to feel a little bit dirty doing it because it's clear as day that Johan Lang doesn't allow these stories to get out. The whole mole thing at Tottenham Hotspur, they're clearly keeping all of that stuff under wraps. Even Ornstein, right? Ornstein was the only person that you'd ever really wait to hear about. And he was the first person that broke several stories over the last 12 months. And even he got some of them wrong, not because he was misinformed, but because the stories didn't filter through. Like Eze, Gibbs White, for example, Savio. But you might as well just wait for them. And so I'm sitting there going, well, okay, what do? We can speculate about the transfer window, but you can't even speculate about the transfer window coming up because I don't think we have any security. But let me ask you this, right? I want everyone, I usually play the 1s and 0 games, but I want everyone to, what did I say? You should use your Nigerian background to become the Infinox rep in the UK. What is this? I want to trade contract for difference. I want you guys to, won't that affect your revenue, Sean? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's killing the revenue. But I just genuinely, I want to know if Tottenham gets safe. If Tottenham win tonight, then I think, especially when you look at some of the other games that are going on, right? West Ham have got Man United, Brentford. Brentford aren't in the relegation battle. Brighton have got a difficult game. You know, Crystal Palace. Like, I feel like if we were to win tonight, I feel like I'm a lot more kind of relaxed about this. If we were to lose tonight, and if West Ham were to actually get a result against Manchester United, and they're sort of playing, I don't think United are that good. You know, I don't think they're that great. I think that they're flattering to deceive. I think they've got a new manager bounce. But West Ham are playing like they've got a new manager bounce. They don't have a new manager bounce, but I think they have like new player bounce. I think that they're playing better since they put a bit of money into the January window. And do you know what? Tottenham might end up really, really cursing their own ineptitude / martyrs or misrepresented as like confidence that they're not in that big of a deal. Listen, if we end up not having a relegation threat here, if we end up getting through to the summer and we're still in the Premier League and you've saved money, and then you know what, we can sit there and reflect on the opportunities within the managerial market. There'll be a lot more opportunities in the summer. Hopefully there's a lot more money. Deals like that Infinox thing, I'm sure that sounds like the fact that there's more than just a line on the official website. The fact that they've gone to a whole page release on it, that to me suggests like it's probably a fairly big deal in revenue. Because usually, like when Tottenham have like, we got a new Andrex as our new toilet partner, toilet tissue partner, Berghvall FC. You know, like, what are we doing here? Like, how much is Andrex really paying Tottenham? You know, to be the official partner, right? I mean, think about like the Sir Jim Ratcliffe's company Ineos. How much was it that was it a £10 million 3-year deal, something like that? Or was it a £15 million 4-year deal? It was something quite extraordinary for them just to sponsor their 4x4 vehicle. Not even like Ineos, the chemicals company, just their off-road car. I forget what it was called. Obviously, they broke the contract because they didn't see the value when they were all that stuff. But the reality is, like, but some of these sponsorship deals, obviously, and all they got was just like the name Grenadier, wasn't it? It was Grenadier. They got the name the Grenadier on the back of the chairs of the people in the dugout, and that's basically it. And yet they're able to charge, you know, fortunes to Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe. So I got no idea how much these sponsorships are worth, but I'm guessing if there's like throughout the stadium. And by the way, again, just quickly, if the company is not available in the UK, and it's a weird one. So I might be going off on a random tangent here, but this is what we do. This is what we do here. Don't know what you want from me. You know, there's no planning, there's no preparation. We just go for it, don't we? We just go for it, people. But let's just go through this again quickly. The partnership will also see Infinox, I call it Infinox, promoted through in-stadium branding at Tottenham Hotspur and via content promoted across our club channels. Okay, this part is fine. This part's fine, right? Because there's definitely a large overseas base. But what the fuck is the point of promoting through the stadium branding? Like, what percentage of the match-going fans, I don't care, because if it's a good deal, it's a good deal. It is what it is. But I'm just pointing out the logic. I think that woman, Moiseans, or whatever her name is, doesn't really make that much sense to me. Like, okay, we'll pay you $5 million a year, but part of the contract is we want to be able to be seen visibly through the stadium. And then our guy says, well, if you want that, that's $6 million a year. Okay. Even though 95% of people that come to Tottenham Hotspur are going to be from the UK, right? I don't know. The logic doesn't logic on that one for me. The logic doesn't logic. Sean Market Report Classic. What we do here is what we do here. I only watch Sean because he's funny. Football knowledge, no. Well, hello. I mean, I'll take it. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. Anyway, big up to you, my man. Big up to you. Don't forget to smash a like. or smashed. Games are broadcast as well, but I'm saying in the in-stand stuff. I'm not talking about if they just mention, like, if they're just talking about the kind of the advertising on the side of the pitch, then obviously that makes sense. But if they're saying, like, they've got, inside the stand where people go and get beers, you know what, Soham? Now I'm saying it out loud. I think you're absolutely right. That's what they're talking about, isn't it? They're talking about the digital. Yeah, that's what they're saying. All right, fair enough. I'll retract. Good luck to them. But good luck to them. But listen, like I say, for me personally, I want to give you some transfer news, views, and clues. But I don't think we can give any transfer news, views, and clues because I just don't think there's any point until we know where we stand. There's 13 games left. 13 games left in the season, and we're 6 points off. We're 6 points off the relegation zone. If we win tonight, then it does bring into the conversation a lot of things. I'm going to be talking about Pochettino and Thomas Frank in a second, guys. I really am. But you know what we do? We go on a random waffle here. Let's have a look at the Premier League table for a split second, shall we? See where we're going with this one. Is it on the screen? No, of course it's not on the screen because I'm completely unprepared. Here we go. So, Brighton and Hove Albion have got Aston Villa tonight away. Tough game, right? So we can get 14th place back tonight if we win and if Brighton lose. Palace, well, they've got Burnley at home, so they're probably going to be looking at that thinking Palace can get back up to 35th, right? Palace can get back up to mid-table tonight. Palace could literally get back to mid-table tonight. They were a relegation consideration last week, just quietly. Not even quietly, very overtly. They were a relegation candidate last week. By the way, Manchester United, 4 games ago, were only 3 points above us. They're now 15 points above us. Or 4 points above us. They're now 15 points above us. Something like that. Can't do the math. Can't be bothered. Who have Nottingham Forest got tonight? They've got Wolves. If Nottingham Forest win and we lose, then we are on 29 points, as are they. If West Ham, guys, this is how big of a game tonight is. It's massive. If we lose, Forest beat Wolves, and West Ham, who could easily beat Manchester United, by the way. West Ham have got a history of doing okay against United at their place, and they're in good form. 3 wins from the last 4, Tottenham included in that. The best form of anybody in the bottom half of the table. I don't think Man United are that good. I really don't. I know they're playing okay at the moment. I don't know whether I want the haircut guy to get his haircut. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But anyway, if they win, 26 points. If Forest win, 29 points. Let's assume that Leeds lose to Chelsea. Right, that Chelsea away for them. So Chelsea have got Leeds at home. You'd imagine Chelsea to be fine there. Like, there's a chance by the end of tonight that we could be 3 points off relegation and on the same amount of points as Forest and Leeds. You know, this is precarious. However, if West Ham lose to United and Tottenham beat Newcastle, then we could technically go back up to 13th in the league. Go above Palace if Palace don't beat Burnley. You know? And then obviously we've got 13 days, whatever it is, until Arsenal. But after that, we've got a few games that we can win. I mean, it really is bonkers that it's the 10th of February. There's only 13 games to go. Traditionally, you need 40 points to guarantee yourself safe from relegation. Traditionally, only 5 teams in the Premier League have got above 40 points. Only 5. And there's only 13 games to go. It's pretty wild. If you go on a run, you can go on a run. And things can look a lot different very, very quickly. Anyway, I need you guys to pump into the chat, right? Your percentage. What percentage do you personally think is our relegation threat? I need you guys to do that right now. So not a ones and zeros game. I need you to give me like a 10, a 20, a 30, a 50, 100. If you think it's 100%, then you're saying we're going down. If you're saying it's 0%, you're saying we're staying up. If you're saying how scared are you? I want to see a lot of numbers pumped into the chat right now. Get pumping. Get pumping. Hire Stephen Gerrard, says Lucky Singh. What are we doing here? What are we doing there? It's a tight league everywhere, says Sam. Yeah, I agree. 15th place relegation battle, yet worrying about United, which is 4th. Delusional club. Read the room. Who's worried about United? I'm not worried about United. I'm just giving my opinion on United. If that's about me, or if you're aiming that at someone else, then I don't know what you want from me, mate. I don't know what you want. 35 points has been all right for a few seasons, but this season there are only 2 clubs being cut adrift. Yep. Big up to you, Rain. Big up to you, my man. 50-50, 50, 20%. Daniel Tyler says it's more likely than it isn't. Yeah, people are scared. People are scared. Boxy says 30%. J Big 20. Fail guy Gav. Big up to you. Rain, you miserable git. Rain, you miserable git. 75% says Barbaric Disdain. What a name that is, by the way. Jobs, 75%. Spurs rule, 44. 80%. He thinks we're going down. He thinks we're going down. Scott M, who traditionally is one of the more pessimistic of the Tottenham fan base, thinks there's only a 5% chance. Big up, Scott. Welcome to the glass half full club. How's the water? It's lovely. Get yourself in. Curly Norman, 70%. Double O wrong and thinks we're going down. There's a big old gap there. A big old gap. Some people think we're guaranteed to go down. Others think there's 0 chance. 164 Spurs. Is that Lukey? Is that Luke? Is that you, Luke? Is that your old name? 164 Spurs? I forget. Rain's changed it. Rain's changed it. Oh, it's a different Rain. It's a different Rain. Never rains, but it pours. Big up to you. Rain is scared. How's my father? He might be watching. He's all right, mate, I think. Thank you for asking. What are we doing here? We really got to get something tonight. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Let's have a little look-see at some of these comments then, right? Shall we just have a little look-see? What? I've got to get my thing back up. 1 second. I want to put the link into the WhatsApp group because some people said they might want to come on. Here we go. Anyone wants to come on, you're more than welcome if you're watching. Anyone wants to come on, you're more than welcome if you're watching. Let's get to this. Where was I going? I've done the Infinox thing. Done that. Let's have a look at what Pochettino said. Let's have a look what Pochettino said. You think it's a Tottenham? No, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. And whatever I just did there wasn't the thing that you thought it was. It wasn't my attempt. Let's have a look. And speaking on the high performance, is it on the screen? It's not on the screen, Butler. Jesus Christ, mate. Here we go. However, Spurs have largely fallen away since departure. And speaking on the High Performance podcast, Pochettino's contract with the US national team runs until the World Cup said, it is true that Tottenham is a club that needs to think about winning the Premier League and the Champions League. Their facilities are Champions League level. And in the past, we didn't have that. But now it's about winning the Premier League and the Champions League. The fans appreciated us because we challenged for the Premier League and the Champions League. To win a Europa League that the team won last season is good, because when you celebrate a trophy, that is good, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Ra-ta-ta-ta. It is not enough for a club like Tottenham to challenge for the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup or the Europa League or the Conference League. It is a club that should be or needs to be in the Champions League and fighting for the Champions League and trying to believe you can win the Champions League and fighting for the Premier League and believing you can win the Premier League. See the way he's just throwing those words into like a disproportionate amount. So it reads a bit weird, but it lands. It's landing on people like me. And I know it's landing on people like you. Is it landing on people like Rain? Big up to you, Rain. How are you?
100%, mate. You know, don't fall in love. Don't fall back in love with your ex. Don't fall back in love with your ex. Don't fall back in love with your ex. Sod it. Sod it. That interview that he did on with Jake Humphrey is just dynamite. I'd forgotten how good he. I'd forgotten how good
you have
he
to
is.
remember though, mate. Like things change, right? Like you might have broken up with your ex because she put a bit of baby weight on, right? And you were doing a bit in work, and maybe there was a new girl in the office, and she was giving you the wink and the gun, right? And you're like, I'm in there. I've got there's a better wicket I could be batting on. Ultimately, that didn't work out, right? And then since then, you broke up. She's gone on and got promoted, right? She's got a double promotion. She's lost a bit of weight. She's had a little bit of this done, right? You put on 3 stone. You got fired for misconduct at work. Your hair's going thin like mine is. All of a sudden, maybe I can forgive and forget, everything that went on. Maybe you were the one, baby. Come back. And by the way, bring that nice new healthy pay packet that you've got and help me out of a hole because I've got damn.
Yeah, 100%. That only emphasises the reasons why we'd want him back. I'm getting a lot of feedback from you, Hugo. Yeah, thanks, mate. I've had a chat with quite a few people about this, and they're all on the same page. It actually means nothing unless he gets players, and that's where we are, right? I am now fully on board. Frank is leaving our club. It's taken me quite a while to get there, but now with various things being said and the position where we are, he's now part of the problem as far as I'm concerned. And and in that interview, one of the most telling things was when he was talking about how Harry Kane nearly got, we always looked at Sherwood as being the one who got Harry Kane into the club. And there was an extra little tidbit in that interview with Poch, which was that they tried again. They tried again after Poch came in to say, oh, well, this Harry Kane kid, he hasn't got enough experience. Well, of course he hasn't got enough experience. He's an academy kid who's only just come in. Where's he going to get the experience from? What, how's he supposed to get experience when he's in our academy playing top flight football? We don't loan them out to Premier League clubs, And Poch confirmed that he went back and he went, no. I've got two experienced strikers, and Harry Kane's my third. And history, and the rest is the future, or the rest is history. We dodged 2 bullets aimed at getting Harry Kane out of our club. One with Sherwood and one with Poch. And both of those guys stood up for us. Both of those guys did the right thing. Looking back now, they did the right thing. And I'm wondering how many of our coaches since then haven't done the right thing by players who were in our club, and we went down an easy route rather than the hard route, and trying to get value out of our players. So and we can have a look at a really good example. We've sent Scarlett out on loan. Yeah, my favourite. We sent Scarlett out on loan. Nobody thinks that Dane Scarlett is going to be a first-class striker for Tottenham Hotspur, but I'll tell you what he is. He's a 22-year-old body who is going to be on that bench. And when we've got 16 and 17-year-olds on the bench,
did you just say my Scarlett?
No, I don't. I didn't say my.
You said my favourite. You said my favourite or something, right?
Well, but my favourite topic. My favourite topic.
Your favourite topic. Okay, sorry. Okay.
My favourite topic of loaning players out when there's no need to loan them out. Just keep him at the club. Put him on the bench And if we play him, we don't play him. If we play him, give him 10 minutes, fine. But we've got 16 and 17-year-olds on the blood. We've got 16 and 17-year-olds on the bench, and we're loaning out a 22-year-old. It's bonkers. Why are we, I know why we're loaning him out. It's because they don't see him as part of the future. They just get him out, get him some time. Sort
you
it.
have to think about their career as well, don't you?
Yeah, but the club and this organisation that pays the majority of the wages and has paid most of the wages comes first. And I would say the same with Vuskovic. A lot of people say it's what he wants. Well, excuse me.
Yeah.
There is an us consideration.
I just don't agree that Dane Scarlett offers any value. Me personally,
Well,
I think he's beyond basic.
I'm just saying in the context that we've got 16 and 17-year-olds on the bench, mate.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's the context.
Fair enough. Yeah, 100%. I hear you, mate. I hear you. Let's bring in Hugo. Well, welcome, Hugo. How are you, my man? Good to see you.
Hello, mate. How's it going?
Yeah, good, buddy. Good. How's things?
Yeah, all right, thanks.
Let me ask you: Did you see the Poch interview? Did you get shivers
Damn
down
straight.
your spine?
Yeah, no, I took myself off to the bathroom for get my day started right.
Nice.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's right. Weight off the mind, Poch in.
Maybe you got Poch out, if you know what I mean.
Son, what you doing, man?
Listen, do you think he's the solution though? I've got to ask you this, right? Because I've got the comments as well from Thomas Frank. We'll go for them in a minute regarding his press conference. But we were speaking about this morning on the WhatsApp call.
Yeah.
Like, for me, like you go bring in a manager and you go, okay, but the manager can't work with these players. Cool. Bring in better players. Okay, but if they're all injured, then it doesn't matter who the players are. It doesn't matter who the manager is. So, like in terms of priority,
well, the difference is that hopefully some injured players come back, right?
Yeah, I know, but they're always injured, right? Like if Tottenham went and spent 500 million quid in the summer and brought in 7 or 8, 15, 60 million pound players, got rid of the young ones that are whatever, got rid of the people who don't want. And then by December, you've got 13 injuries again. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how expensive or how talented the players are. None of them can do anything if they're on the injury list. So to me, I know we talk about injuries a lot, but we have to like get to the bottom of why the injuries are what they are here and not the same elsewhere, don't we, Hugo?
Yeah, I mean, we discussed about how a lot of Harry Kane obviously was injury prone and hired his own non-club physio people, right? And as far as I'm aware, it's he was rarely injured and has rarely been injured since, right? So we know there's a fundamental issue at the club. We've discussed about the different dynamics at play with musical chairs of different staff and how for each different manager there's a new regime, as far as like the physios are concerned and so on. So there's a lack of continuity on that front. So whatever needs to happen, supposedly we're led to believe that there are people behind the scenes that are coming in and being paid good amounts of money to be experts in their field, supposedly. You've had your physio, your mate, is it Gary, who works with the club on occasion?
Yeah.
Who has identified what he believes to be the fundamental issue, right? So
he says it's continuity of culture,
right? Which is changes when you chop and change your manager every 18 months, right? So the only thing is that we are now lumbered, as far as I'm aware, with the majority of Brentford's people, right? Is that including their physios as well?
Yeah, we just signed one, didn't we?
Yeah. So my point being is at this juncture, but mind you, you look at the irony is you look at Brentford and since we've absorbed the Thomas Frank entourage, they seem to be setting off for the stars. So it's going well. Talent identification strikes again at Tottenham Hotspur. It's not just the recruitment on the pitch, mate. It's even worse off it, I think. If you can't even get, if your recruitment is that bad, you can't even recruit the people who are meant to be recruiting the players, then you really are buggered.
Can I just ask you guys this? I know that Rain, you will always Levy out and you Enoch out, right? You're part of the protest. Hugo, I've got to know you recently to understand that you are that way as well. You know, I'm not someone that was ever like Daniel Levy's the problem. I was defended him. The Enoch people I couldn't care less about, right? Like take or leave, couldn't care less. But I have to be honest, right? And I'm just putting this out there, and this is probably going to come back and bite me. But I've got to be honest. Like I just worry whether there is a possibility whether smart minds at Tottenham have in fact conducted an internal review as to why it is that there is such a disproportionate amount of injuries at Tottenham and not elsewhere. And even if like it's not the people, because we've got the best in class, right? And they came from better places, they've moved on to better places. Yep. It's not the technology because we have the best in class, right? We have the best machines or whatever. Even if it's the new managers come in and bring their rehab guy with them, well, that's those same managers go and work elsewhere. So the same thing would happen at other clubs as well, whereby they might have the best in class or otherwise in terms of medical people. But if every manager brings with them their own performance guy, then it might be a variable, but it's a consistent variable everywhere else as well, right? Yep. So if those other clubs don't have the same injury things, then that's not an obvious. It might be a solution. It might be the problem, but it also might not be. And then you go, well, is it the pitch? Is it like the synthetic grass? Well, apparently those things are quite common across Europe and quite common across the Premier League. So it's not that either. Okay, so what's the outstanding thing that might be different at Tottenham Hotspur that doesn't exist elsewhere? And it's obviously, to me, the last port of call is the fact that there is 6 inches of grass, and then beneath that there are girders and machinery and artificial pitches, right? And so all I'm worried about, Ren, I can see you want to come in just quickly. All I'm worried about is that they have in fact conducted a review, and that maybe just maybe the last point of difference at Tottenham that doesn't exist elsewhere is the fact that there is something that cost the football club £400 million to build, and that they can't announce that or acknowledge that because it would end up being a giant white elephant that you don't know what to do. You've got a problem because maybe the pitch is responsible for more of the injuries than and it's because of the thing that's underneath the pitch, and the thing that's underneath the pitch can't go anywhere because it's kind of baked into the fucking stadium, and that stadium cost £1 billion. And so acknowledging that problem would essentially mean that the whole new stadium thing is a cash cow that comes with a whole load of other consequences that affect the football club, which is all that anyone at Tottenham, the fans, really care about. I'm not saying that is the case. I'm speculating, so I'm going to say allegedly. I'm just saying if that's the case, it's a fucking disaster.
So we play 90. Wait a minute. We play 90 minutes every other week on that pitch. They play a lot more minutes at the training ground, and the training ground is 100% unique to Tottenham Hotspur players. Otherwise, you'd expect to see some kind of fallout from injuries from visiting players, right? On our tray, because they're trays, aren't they? It's not a pitch; it's a tray.
Yeah.
And I'm not discounting it.
Tray. We're cooking injuries.
Exactly. I'm not discounting it. I'm just saying that the one thing that nobody's talking about, in fact, actually Soren and I were talking about it in the summer on another channel. It's the training ground. Nobody's and I'm absolutely clear. So the training ground came first, didn't it? I'm absolutely clear. A lot of our injury problems started around about that time. If we go back and track back, it's got to be something. But there is something else, and it actually came out during Poch's. That was such a fascinating interview that they had on the High Performance podcast. Was just how prevalent private and sort of personal trainers, coaches are for these professional players. And he was saying that, Palmer even had his own tactics coach which like blows your mind. You know, how can you have, you know, you can see why you would do it as a professional. You can see why you would go and get that independent analysis. Why wouldn't you, if you know, invest that money? But from my perspective, this is the first time I've ever heard somebody say that they had a personal tactics coach.
I know
who was doing their
Porro
analysis.
had an independent, like, live-in physio, or not necessarily live-in, but basically.
I'm sure they all have PTs. They must all have PTs. You know, personal trainers. They must do, because you'd be doing training all around.
Not everyone takes their career seriously, right? Some players just go home and put their feet up and play FIFA all afternoon, or go shagging birds like Brennan Johnson. Whatever, I don't know, but like,
that's exercise.
Yeah, not necessarily the right kind of prehab, you know. And maybe after certain girls that you slept with, I don't know, Bonnie Blue or what the other one was called, maybe you have to have some specific type of rehab as well. I don't know, you know, like, I'm just saying, allegedly.
But you see what I mean? But do you get what I mean about the training ground?
No, I do. But a lot of this season's injuries have happened on the pitch. Last season's injuries were predominantly on the training ground. But they have done the synthetic weave thing. So Gary did say that whatever this weave thing is that he's talking about, that the grass grows, but it grows alongside some synthetic thing that kind of is underneath it. And that's consistent at the club and at the stadium and at the training ground. But he also said that that's quite common elsewhere as well. So I don't know.
So the other thing for me on this, the whole injuries thing, is, you know, finance guy, right? I would start budgeting this in. I would start. I'm now expecting there to be injuries. You look at last year. You look at the year before. What happened? Oh, right. Let's budget for that. Right. And forgive me for using a finance term. I'm gonna expect this many injuries. Lange's interview. I'm going to come back to Lange's interview in a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to read out something that he actually said. My things moved me. Dooby-dooby-doo. Where is it? Sorry. Here we go. There are some limitations to how many players you can have in a squad to register them. But even though our financial situation under the rules are better than most clubs, and we have owners who are very willing to invest, it is important we are under those rules. So they didn't go and sign players in January because they've got a full squad list. And forgive me for doing the I've been talking about this YouTube thing, but I've been talking about this. They've got a full squad list. They've got Kulu, Maddison, previously Solanke, Richalison, Danzo, Udogie. They've got all of these players who are on that squad list, and they don't want to sign players in case they have to take one or two of these players out. Well, I'm sorry, but you'd be going to Bissouma, you'd be going to I'd be going to Kulusevski, and I'd be going, look, I'm sorry, we've signed somebody else. Bissouma, you need to find yourself a different club so that we've got a central midfielder that passing central midfielder that we want, right? And Kulusevski, I'm sorry, mate, you know, your injury is so severe, you may not be back till March, April, so we need to get somebody else in. We need numbers. You know, the whole predicted lineup for this evening became a moot point because people were just moving deck chairs around this Titanic. There's only 11 players, and people are working out what formation we're playing
in the squad, mate. There's only 25 people you can have in the squad, right? So I don't know what you're supposed to do. You bring in people saying bring players in. You have to move players out of the squad in that regard, and a lot of the players are deemed to come back at some point. Let me come back to you, Wayne, in just a second. Hugo, on the training ground thing, just quickly. What's your, or not the training ground, the stadium thing? Do you think there's any? I know you just said to me that's your chairman. This is, like I said, I'm throwing it out there, and I know what's going to come of it, right? Because I saw Lubo Steve jump on me on that one earlier on, right? But do you think there might be any truth to that there's just a chance that maybe the stadium itself is a problem?
I mean, I would have to think though that there must be some sort of, if they had found that to be the situation, there'd be some sort of measures that they could take, like put something between, the bottom of the trays and the grass or something that has some sort of absorption or something, or build up the grass to a thicker level, or I don't know. You would have thought they'd have taken some sort of measure if that was a, definite conclusion from a report, right?
I'm just saying. I'm not saying. Listen, I'm speculating entirely, right? It's complete speculation, so don't take a word I'm saying as gospel at all here. But I know that the American football players, when they first played on the artificial,
they said it was like a trampoline.
They did, yeah. They said it was causing them sort of stiff ankles and things, and then more recently, because it's now the third or fourth, fifth year or whatever of them doing it. They're now saying that they call the Tottenham Hotspur stadiums. I think they said it was zippy because it's like it gets them an extra on a 40-yard sprint. It gets the wide receivers or whatever. It feels like they're kind of bouncing a little bit like an athletics track versus running on the grass or running on the ground. Yeah, it has a little bit of spring in it. So again, that's slightly different because obviously it's the different iteration of the pitch. I'm just saying, Occam's razor. If you've removed all of the things that can't be possible, the only thing that's left is what must be, right? That's that rule of thumb. Once you've removed all of the, isn't that Occam's razor?
No, Occam's razor is
the most logical thing is the truth.
It's it's the simplest thing is the. You're doing Sherlock Holmes.
Once you've removed all of the impossible, the only thing left is the possible, right? Yeah. Yeah. So I just the fact is that we are miles ahead in the injury table list. We are miles and miles ahead for 2 years running.
Yeah.
There has to be something going on, Hugo, and it can't just be bad luck.
No, I agree. I mean, the only thing I can think of is, that to an extent it might have something to do with our home pitch. But as you say, we play only half our games on that pitch. But the common denominator, right, is the training ground. That is where they spend most of their time. That is the most contact with any surface that they have is the surface at the training ground. That, and I think maybe, and because of that, then when they're actually put under real stress, which is during an actual live game, that is when you're more likely to see injuries than, when they're not under quite the same sort of stress in training. Yes, they're, under a modicum of stress in training, but they're not exerting themselves to exactly the same sort of level as a match day scenario. Hence why we hear about the difference between match fitness and just being fit, right? The levels of exertion and stress and so on are different at that level on the day, in front of the crowd, on the pitch, in a Premier League game. It's a different level of everything. Yeah. So to me, when I spoke to you about, when I was talking to you about the San Francisco 49ers with their substation issue, where neither of the Super Bowl teams wished to train on the San Francisco training facility, which is adjacent to the stadium because of the electric.
What does that mean, mate? What does that mean? Because there's a substation literally 300 meters as far as the bird flies from my house.
Yeah,
and I was pretty sure growing up that I read somewhere on my conspiracy journey that houses are not supposed to be built within 500 meters of a substation, and yet they are. But because of the EMF, is it the EMF? Is that what it is? That's what it is. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm getting cooked. Well, not just in Tottenham's chat when I say something bozo-esque.
Yeah, you already said that.
Underneath the power lines.
Yeah, you already said that. But when you moved back to the UK and you moved into that house, you said you were suddenly like,
Yeah, I felt like shit. I felt like shit ever since. Yeah,
that's right. And I sent you the link to the EMF, like beanies and whatever else. Sent you that?
Yeah, you did. Because I was literally going to start a business with silver line, because it's silver lining. It was going to be silver lined beanies and silver lined underwear, because I felt like men were going infertile because of the 5G radiation and all that bollocks.
Well,
and I was like, you get some
that and a globalist jab, yeah.
Yeah. Hugo, you got to come and join us on the rabbit hole, bro.
Allegedly. Sorry.
Yeah.
God, sorry. But
wait. So Future's music sound thinks that EMF doesn't have any consequences.
All right, tell him to go and tell him to go and set up a tent under a power line and see how he feels after a week.
Do you know, actually, right,
it's a song. It's a song, guys.
Oh, is
no,
it?
You're unbelievable, dude.
Ah,
And he beat me to it. I've been waiting to come in. This is unbelievable.
Bravo. Didn't know.
So he done there.
You know the song, absolutely, 100%.
You're unbelievable.
Yeah. My bad. I don't often get got like that. I don't often get sucked.
But I don't know. EMF is real, man. Like there
so
are
you're saying
things...
so the American football teams didn't want to train at the NFL Super Bowl.
Where the Super Bowl was in the San Francisco 49ers stadium, and neither team wanted to do their week's training before the Super Bowl. Neither team wanted to use the facilities there.
Really? So where did they go? They went somewhere else.
I'm not discounting this. I've trained at Carrington, and there's a massive substation, like about half a mile from Carrington, because you drive past it as you're going down the huge long drive. You actually drive past this massive substation. So I'm not. This is literally
adjacent, as in like there are people have taken photographs of things of like that there are trees that are like dead around it and stuff. Like it's it's and the 49ers themselves, season upon season, like Tottenham Hotspur, are decimated by injuries that shouldn't be happening to the level that they are. Yes.
Rain, do a little bit of in real time research. Is there a substation near Hotspur?
Do you know what? I am totally.
You're way ahead of me, aren't you? You're way ahead of me on the one. Right now. This is what we do here. What do you want from us? This is what we do.
We've got the opportunity for like breaking news right here, kids.
Gee whiz.
Oh, he doesn't recognise Tottenham Hotspur. Apparently, that's not what it's called. What's it called?
What's it? The Enfield.
Hotspur Way.
There we go. I got it. I'm joking. Right.
Are there like major power lines that go near the facility and stuff?
No, this isn't the Rabbit Hole channel. But by the way, don't forget to subscribe to the Rabbit Hole channel because we're going to be live. Tonight after the game.
This isn't like Rabbit Hole stuff. There's also certain, the whole there's the whole EMF thing or whatever else. There were certain, like in Europe, was it the iPhone 12? I can't remember what it was. Was one of them was banned because it was like there were excessive in certain countries found to have like excessive like EMF coming off the phone compared to like if you hold it to your ear for for that long. The amount
I've never ever done that ever. I always use the earphones, and don't use the Bluetooth ones either. Use the wired ones because Bluetooth.
That's not like a revelation. That's like people can poo it all they like, but if the experts that get paid lots of money, and there's like proof, and they're doing whatever. I can't remember. Over here at the moment, there's several EMF brands, of things that you can actually like put on the phone. I think there's is it the Timberwolves might be sponsored by one of them.
I've got Faraday cages downstairs. I've got bags and boxes that when I was getting hacked, I was like, well, anything that's in this house that doesn't need to be connected to the internet, in order for me to isolate the problem and figure out what's going on. Not that I ever got to the bottom of it, put it all in the Faraday. I've got fucking giant boxes that are just that you put things in there. And then when you pick it up initially, you can see there's absolutely no service. So I'm definitely going to get some silver-lined underwear. Not that I'm trying to spread my love anywhere anytime soon. But there is a business out there, silver-lined.
Not while you're serenading the shower, mate.
I'm afraid to confirm that there is no. I can see no substations. There's some education. Well, I can't have a look at power lines, dude. There's only so much I can do.
Zoom in a little bit. We can see the power lines. We can see the power lines. If there's power lines, we can see them. There's Hotspur Way. There's Hotspur Way, is it?
This is Hotspur Way here in the middle. This is so. There's nothing.
It's not EMF. Okay, it's not EMF.
There's nothing obvious. There's some burial. Maybe there's.
Oh, we're on a burial plot. We're on a burial plot the other side of the street. There you go.
Maybe they relocated some graves, but didn't they just moved the headstones, kind of thing. From a movie that's been terrifying me ever since I was about 9.
That's all right. Can't we get a gypsy in to piss in the corner and we'll be sorted?
Listen,
but I don't.
I'm anti-Illuminati, right? I would never get on board any of the things that's going on in those files by a certain guy. All of those pizza references, all of that jerky stuff. I'm not on board any of that. However, if there happened to be somebody at Tottenham Hotspur that was willing to sell their soul to get a little bit of injury, good luck coming our way, as long as it doesn't affect me, you do you, bro. You do you.
Do you not remember, when Southampton built St Mary's, and they felt like there was bad juju in that ground, and they had a priest come and. Do you not remember this?
Yeah, I do remember.
Is this Rupert Lowe? This was Rupert Lowe at the time.
Yeah, they had an exorcism. They had exorcism of the stadium.
Yeah,
they did.
Listen, I reckon that someone that was on the employment. Do you remember when the stadium was about to start? When the stadium was about to go live, wasn't there some issue with the plumbing or the lighting, and then there was a conspiracy that we hired a bunch of West Ham fan electricians or something.
Yeah, it was the electrics. Yeah, the electrics were all shot, and it needed about half of it needed to be rewired, if I remember rightly.
Rule one of gauging whether you want to employ people for Tottenham Hotspur Stadium should be, who do you support? I'm sure they might have buried a couple of Arsenal shirts in amongst the foundations. Something's going on, boys.
Some claret and blue there as well, probably.
Something is going on because we can't figure it out, right?
Having said that, when they built the Arsenal stadium, they probably had the same issue with guys that up the road, Spurs fans, probably in on the gig there. They don't seem to have a fucking problem.
Well, it took them 8 years. It took them 8 years to win a trophy, mate. It only took us 5. So let's just. We're ahead of schedule, really.
That's not. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fucking just the bad juju, mate, at our club.
Should we have a little look-see at what?
Oh, by the way, did you see about when Thomas Frank in today's thing? He was he made it public that he had a significant say in the January window.
I've got his comments up here. They might be in there. I don't know. Is that what he said?
Yep.
That's turned me. That's flipped my Frank out switch.
That's turned Rain. That's turned Rain. He's gone to the other side now.
I have absolutely gone to the other. That's my favourite topic, Sean. When we first met during the ball protest, that's all I could talk about, and that's what I'm still thinking about. And if Frank is absolutely part of that problem, then he can get
just
out.
To confirm, Rain, you were transitioning before. And now
I'm fully.
Now you're
done. Yeah. I've done all the surgery. That's it. It's all been done. It's no longer prosthetic.
Yeah. Nice. Very good.
Nice. Well, don't forget to keep taking the tablets.
Yeah. Couple of super chiddly chit chats, and then we'll get into the comments from Thomas Frank. He says, big up to you, Bourbon Buzzard, mate. Thank you very much, bud. I appreciate you, mate. Is anything going on with Levy's shares, or do we need to start a GoFundMe? No further updates on that one, mate. I don't know. We haven't heard anything. I'm waiting to hear.
March 6th, isn't it?
March the 6th. Yeah. Hopefully, I haven't had the audacity to ask yet, but I want to say to my man, it'd be remarkably cool of you if you would give me the exclusive for your first interview with Tottenham fans on March the 7th or whatever. But
the best sort of bomber would be, with that thing I sent the thing about Alan Sugar's post to you, right?
Yeah.
When he was suggesting maybe that they might be trying to minimize or make the balance sheet look as attractive as possible.
That guy knows knows about as much about 2026 level of business as I do about crochet.
He's so Alan Sugar.
Yeah,
he's still selling fucking fax machines, mate. Like, what are we doing here? You know,
but he's also in his tweet that he recently put out. Joe Lewis is gone, mate. He's like, he doesn't seem up to date at all.
Nah, he's a complete bozo. You got a horrible echo there, Rain. Can you are you doing it via your earphones? I can hear like a bit. Like, sounds like you're underwater after you speak. Well, let me just choo choo to Dino. Choo choo to you, my man. Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate you, bud. Appreciate you as always, my man. Always. Pizza Express for Dino tonight because his wife can't get treated to a nice one because he's always supporting all the content creators. We love you, Dino. Appreciate you, mate. And Rob Welsh has said, Poch equals lazy nostalgia to get the fans off the boards back. There's definitely that side of the argument as well. The fact the board know that they can just lean into him and then get another couple of windows out of the fans' loyalty and patience. Big up to you, Rob. Appreciate you, mate. Let's have a look.
I think Poch will be about the best of who's left. Let's be honest. Like if we talk about the summer window, right? Then you got to think that the attractive propositions are where the top managers are going to want to go. Your Alonsos and so on. Are going to they'll get their pick, right? Probably the same with Nagelsmann. Probably the same with Tuchel and so on. They can pretty much go wherever they set their eyes, right? Same with Klopp. So at that juncture, we are basically going with, for Spurs at least, the best of the rest, right? So at that stage, although the whole don't go back to your ex thing and whatever else, he's about the best choice that I reckon we'll have left.
And I disagree. I think that Tottenham is. People say Tottenham's a poison chalice. Why would any manager want to go there? I think the opposite. I think every manager should want to come to Tottenham because if you win, you've done what no one else has ever done, and you will be an absolute hero. Let's be honest, Pochettino is our most heralded, heroic manager in the last probably 20 years, and he didn't win anything. Right? If you come to Tottenham and you lose, you just join the long line of other managers that can leave without anything, get paid off your full contract. Tottenham always pay good money for their managers, and then you can make a bunch of excuses and blame the board like everyone else does, and then your reputation remains undamaged.
And let's be clear, you're almost guaranteed to go to your next club or the club after that and win something.
Yeah, it's a win-win. It's a win-win. It's like this is like, not to get back on the conspiracy thing, but big up to you, Matt, for joining. It's like Ricky Gervais, right? Ricky Gervais is like the world's most well-known atheist at this stage. I know there's a couple of others prior, but I feel like he's on a lose-lose because some would say that he has been given God-given talent to be able to charm a crowd, right? To use his platform to tell jokes. All right, but mate, you're using your God-given talent to destroy the art of religion and call everyone an idiot for believing in it. Great. If you're right and there's no afterlife, you won't be around to recognize that you were right. If you're wrong, and you fucking, as soon as you die, up you go to St. Peter's Gate or whatever, you have to explain yourself why it wasn't just you that didn't believe. You told millions of people every single week why they shouldn't believe either. It's a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose, Ricky. You might as well get on board, Faith, at some point, because if you're wrong, you're never going to know. And if you're right, at least you get to go up to the pearly gates. And as far as Tottenham managers go, you might as well take the job, because if you do a good job, then you're going to be a hero and did what no one else could do. And if you're wrong, if you lose, if you fail, you're going to end up on the long line of bigger manager names than yourself that also failed, and you can just blame the manager. To me, it's Pascal's wager. That's exactly what it is. The one and only Demiurge. There you go, Pascal's wager.
Yeah, I just feel he's about the last. He's about the only person that bring the vast majority of the fan base back on side, because pretty soon it's just going to be outright anarchy.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, there's something to be said about that right at the end, right? You know, they both asked about the club that they want to succeed with, and they both put Spurs. There is some that goes a long way. You know, in Spurs fans, any football fans' eyes.
He appeals to our, you know, delusions as well, of our delusions of grandeur, right? Where, you know, we think we can win everything, you know, when we've got a squad that, you know, put together for a can of Coke and a bag of skips, right? So we sit there and, you know, we've got our thing of we're Tottenham and, you know, like we should be the best or whatever else. But to a large extent, yeah, he does, you know, like pander to our fluffing our egos, right? That we like to think that we're the dog's bollocks, even though that we're actually the shit on the floor that the dog.
And we absolutely love it when managers past and present and future tell us, like as I said at the start, right? Like Thomas Frank isn't reading the room. He's an academic rather than a realist. In reality, you have to sometimes put a little bit of sizzle on the steak. You have to put some salt and pepper, a little bit of cayenne, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. He's just like, no.
But as well as sports psychology,
Pochettino can fluff me.
It's going to be medium, you know.
Pochettino can fluff me any day of the week.
But I mean, like a lot of sports psychology, right? Sports psychology, a lot of it is kidology.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah, talk to me like you're Santa Claus and I'm a 6-year-old.
Yeah, but seriously, if you're one of the Spurs players at the moment, and you've got the Danish pastry telling you that you're going to be losing games, right? Like, you know, half of them will find it when it's a confidence game, right? More times than not in any sport, like if you're confident, you're going to do better. When you've got the Danish pastry telling you that, you know, you're going to lose a bunch of games, you're like, well, thanks for the inspiration, mate, and thanks for believing in us.
Mate, it's not that difficult, right? Like anyone that's run businesses out there, right? When you've got a product to sell, let's be honest, if the product sold itself, you'd be a billionaire.
Yep.
Okay, you would be a billionaire. If the product needed no sales because it was just some sort of revolutionary product and it could do everything that you presented it could do, you wouldn't need to sell it. It would sell itself. But you do. That's why that's why every business has salespeople. And you know what they do? They set expectations, but they set expectations just a little bit above what's realistic, because that's the way that you get the guy to sign and give over his credit card details. Okay, Thomas Frank is the guy that says, yeah, I've got a burger and chips. Basically, it's potato and beef. And look, you know, chances maybe you might get some mad cow's disease. Probably not. But you are going to eat some carbs. So if you do eat a lot, you're going to put on some weight. Like, no, I'm not going to eat I'm not going to eat your burger and chips. I'm going to buy the burger and chips from the guy who tells me it's the best fucking burger and chips. You're never going to have any burger and chips like this ever again.
But it's not the product you're selling. It's not the product you're selling. It's the experience.
It's the experience.
It's the emotion.
This is fandom.
This is what
fandom.
You're in on is the emotion.
It's all about experience. You're a fan. I want to know, even if you can't deliver, I want to know at least, let me believe before I know the reality that something good's going to happen. He's like, no, the reality is, guys, we're going to lose games.
That was the whole marketing strategy behind Apple, right? Was, okay, we've got a product. It's a smartphone, you know, but it's the emotions, you know, and the experience that is what they sell in order to differentiate themselves from everyone else. They almost like, you know, they recalibrated the whole sales proposition and marketing proposition in order to resonate with people more, because it's way easier to resonate with people's emotions than it is with, you know, just this is the product and this is what it does.
Yeah. That's what I mean, but I just think Thomas Frank is an academic, because academics don't do that. Academics just look at the data and they just speak on the facts, and it like they work in a different world to us. The rest of the world has to have a little bit of sale and a little bit of sizzle. Matt, big up to you, my man. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad, guys. You?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. It's crack-a-lacking.
Just on a bit of a gap at work, so I thought, obviously, I saw your message.
Can't hear him.
No, I can hear you, Matt. I can hear you.
You hear me, Sean?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, can
Can
now.
you hear him? Mate,
Yeah.
you can hear him? Everyone
Yep.
okay? Everyone okay?
I just thought I'd pop on, see what you chaps are talking about. Got an hour before got my next sort of PT client. So, yeah. Thought I'd...
You're a physical, so you're a PT, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got if some fat bird comes along and says, I want to look like Kim Kardashian,
Yeah.
you've got to have a little bit of honesty, but you've also got to
Yeah.
if you just turn around and went, yeah, that's never going to happen, love. So
Yeah.
dream on. There's only so much I can do, and what you want, you're not going to get any clients, right? You got to give them a plan.
Yeah, well, you keep it realistic, but you also have to find a way of motivating them as well. If I don't have motivated clients, they're not going to want to turn up every week, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a salesman as well. I've got to get people in the door.
Mate, everything you do in life is sales. Everyone is a salesman. Everyone is a salesman, right? You're either selling someone a reason to buy your product, or they are selling you a reason why they don't have to buy your product. Okay, you are being sold to in every conversation. I am selling the people that are watching this. We, the four of us, are selling the 680 people that are watching this right now. Every time we speak, we are selling them another reason to listen for another minute. Okay, and if we fail in that regard, it's going to drop to 650 and 630. Right? You're selling your wife the reason why she should give you a good time this evening. She's selling you the reason why you should put up with her bullshit. This is what we do. This is life. Everything in life is communication, and communication is sales. On some level, that's all it is. And Thomas Frank, for me, his brutal honesty and his sincerity and his nice guy approach, he's not winning any of the fans over. And let's not ignore the point here that eventually, all of the owners in every football club around the world will eventually use the manager as the shield to protect them from the fans who are their customers and their clients. And Thomas Frank, I don't think, does a good enough job at selling the story. If he's not selling us, he's not selling the players either. And Christian Romero, look, he's a brilliant salesman. He's clearly sold the players to back him when he says things that, in my opinion, are not in any way, shape or form, realistically about wanting better for Tottenham. He wants better for Christian Romero, and he's doing these things to engineer a move. And I hope that most people are waking up to that. But the fact that all of the players buy into his nonsense when he says it's a disgrace that Tottenham have got only 13 available players, you're utilizing an injury crisis to blame the owners. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense, but people have bought in. Romero's a fantastic salesman. He's a fantastic salesman. I'll give him that credit. But he's not selling the referees with his behavior. And that's where the rubber meets the road, right? Because
whereas Virgil van Dijk is absolutely amazing at selling his behaviour to refs, and that's how he gets away with stuff. And Matt, I'm interested. What was I saying wrong earlier?
Me?
No? Yeah, was it not you? Was it somebody else? Have I got that wrong?
I didn't. I haven't called you out from it.
All right. Okay. It was somebody else. I'll go and check.
Mind you, if you were a player and you had to buy into a philosophy, what would you do? Would you be more attracted towards, a South American with a bit of charisma, or the Danish pastry?
Well, Hugo, I still don't know what our philosophy is under him. That's my problem. I don't think we have one.
No, I mean just from above and beyond, just like not specifically to the playing. I just mean to just how he, his demeanor, if you will, just his day to day.
I think you're gonna go Poch, aren't you? Because he just seems like a very good man manager, a nice bloke. He's going to give you maybe a bit of the carrot and the stick sort of treatment. I'd say a bit of both. I'd say he's quite fair. I think Frank, to be honest, would bore me to death. As I think he does these players. I mean, the same goes with Lange as well.
Mate. I don't think he's a leader. He doesn't have. No. He just doesn't seem to have the traits.
He's middle management.
Yeah, he's a
civil service department.
Yeah, he's a paper pusher.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's why it's like he should be he should be like an actuary. Is probably what he should be doing.
It's pretty much a crime that he's getting $8 million a year to do pretty much nothing.
8
Not a
million
lot,
a
really.
year, Matt. This is the point. What are we doing here?
And last year we had a master salesman last year.
Yeah.
We had and you know, I'm not doing a comparison, but I am doing a players and fans, and you know, there's still a lot of fans who are in that and Poch has now resold himself to me, but a lot of players moving from master salesman to somebody who in the first couple of weeks decided that they were going to set expectations by saying we're going to lose games.
Yeah, but the issue was that like he went, well, he spoke out of both sides of his mouth too many times, where it became abundantly clear that he was just a bullshitter, right?
Yeah.
So that was whereas one thing.
That's the problem. Once you become an overt salesman,
yeah,
and then people see through it, then you've got no like if all you're selling is the sizzle. If you've got an actual steak, you need to sell it with a little bit of sizzle, right? But if all you've got is the sizzle and no steak, then you're just burning oil on the pan.
Well, that's exactly what happened. What was the name of the you know, the guy that used to do the salt with the steaks, where he used
Salt Bay.
Yeah, that guy.
Salt
Salt
Bay.
Bay.
That
Salt
dude.
Bay, yeah.
Well, that was you know, very popular for a bit, and he got you know, a number of like restaurants and so on, and now they're like all empty.
Yeah.
You know, just like after a while, you know, if you keep on just rolling out the same bollocks, ultimately it's steak with some fucking salt on it. You know what I mean? Like there's only so many times where the novelty of the whatever resonates and it's exciting. After a while, if you're just the same bollocks as
whereas like peak Mourinho had the product and then he had the sizzle that kept everyone engaged, even though his product was actually quite boring. He made it interesting by the way that he conducted himself. You know?
Yeah. Well, the other thing is with Ange, right, is if we'd have won the Europa playing his style of football, then I could have given him a bit more credence, right?
100%.
The point was, though, that was clearly not the situation. And when we played his style of football, the wheels came off and we finished, you know, in 17th. And we had to play anti-Ange football in order to, you know, win the thing. That is where any kind of credibility of his, you know, like the self PR and the salesman aspect, I was just like, mate, the only way we won something was doing the very opposite of what you've been, you know, espousing to be doing. So that removes any credibility for me. Thank you for the trophy. Fantastic. Do I feel like the reason we won the trophy is you? No.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. I hear you. I think Rain. We're trying to figure out Rain's echo. Guys, let's do this. I'm gonna bring in these quotes here, and I'll let Matt have a crack because I don't think he got his full chance to answer. Let's start with this: should Johan Lang be under more scrutiny? I think it's like with me, it's never only one person. I understand it's the head coach who gets most blame when it's not going well, and maybe he gets a little bit of praise. If it is going well, that's part of the job. So I knew that. In my opinion, the way I have already seen, I can't speak about what happened because before, of course, I inherited a squad and some players. But the way I see it and the way we do it now, we do things together. So in September, the transfer window, it was Fabio as a consultant, Johan, Vinay, Daniel, and I. Now this window, it has been the Lewis family, Vinay, Johan, Fabio, and I. That's been the way the whole time. So it is us who do that. Is that fair, Matt? He's saying it's not one person. It's all of us that are responsible. Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's back. No, hang on a second. He's got. Wait a minute.
Rain.
Matt is here. So Rain disappeared. Matt, you all right, mate? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. Yeah.
Is it fair on?
I think he's doing a bit of a cover up for his Danish friend, to be perfectly honest. I mean, they're quite clear they're, you know, maybe good friends or good sort of colleagues. I mean, I don't believe the Fabio thing in terms of he was really helping in January, to be perfectly honest. I think he had his feet up personally, mate. And I don't really, I'm with you, Sean. I liked Fabio, but I think the way he treated us for how we backed him for those 2 years while he had his ban, I think it's quite disgraceful that the first time he gets, he's just going to screw us over and not even try and help in January. I mean, there is rumours
we don't know that's true, though. If we should have learned anything by now, It's that the one thing that ENIC are adept at is, the spin and the PR and whatever else. They did it with Levy and with Paratici. If he's going to Fiorentina, mate, the guy must have been on gardening leave way in advance of the January window. It's not just going to be, oh yeah, you can have 4 weeks, mate. Come on, guys. Like, you're talking about, like, it's a massive corporation. This can't have just been like suddenly from one day to the next. You know what? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, actually, we'll give you 4 weeks leave as long as you can give us a little bit of help. You wouldn't leave the keys to the kingdom with the guy. Be doing somewhere else. Not unless you're completely inept and it was a total shit show. You'd be like, no, mate, you're on gardening leave.
The window wasn't it, really?
You'd be like, you're on gardening leave. You're not welcome in the building. Jog on.
But he was at games, wasn't he? I mean, he was pictured with Vinay at certain games, and they were pictured sort of together. There was one game I'm pretty sure they were pictured.
Well, maybe at the
together
stadium. Maybe at the stadium, but I'm talking about
it was an away game, I believe. I think he was there with Vinay. Might have been Crystal Palace or something like that. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think it's all. I think he's covering a lot of backs, and there's nothing in this club at the moment, higher up level, manager, sporting director level. Nothing is inspiring me. It's just like it's just useless, to be perfectly honest. And someone needs to get hold of it. I'm hoping with this, if they're going down this 2 sporting director model, that this sporting director comes in and asks Lange to basically just do the youth team or the reserves or whatever, and he's going to get on with what he needs to do in the summer. Obviously, regarding if we obviously stay up, which again I'm very worried about, to be perfectly honest.
This is a massive red flag. This that was said for weeks and weeks and weeks. I've been saying we can't criticise Frank for what's going on in the transfer window. We don't know if he's involved, and now he's confirmed he was involved. Therefore, he is now complicit in. Let's face it, January is going to be this January. If we get near relegation, or heaven forbid it happens, right? This January is absolutely the time that it could have been fixed. And I've seen rumours that they're reviewing Frank. They're starting to panic a little bit because we're getting close. The time to panic was in January. That's when the time. Panicking now isn't going to fix the fact that he's only got 11 or 12 players to pick.
Hugo, I think the noise is definitely I think if you're using your phone and then you're just moving your hand on the table, I think it picks up all the noise. I think that's what it was, mate.
Is it any better now?
Well, yeah, as long as you just don't move your phone off the table or tap on the table or whatever, because it picks up all of the noise through the microphone. That's what that is, I think. Sorry, Rain, I was accusing you backstage of like it being your fault. I think it actually might have been Hugo's.
I'm semi-pro these days. Sean.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Since he's transitioned, he's semi-pro now.
It's amazing how you move on in life when you actually start becoming part of the woke army.
That's it. Wait until you identify a different way.
Let's do a couple of super chats. Big up to Sean Hurl. He set me up to you, mate. He says the biggest obstacle to Poch's return is gone. Oh, Matt's gone. Donna Maria Cullen, she hated Pochettino. Yeah, interesting, Sean. That's a good point. She has gone.
Does anyone know why? Why she hated him?
Don't know why she hated him. No, but she definitely didn't want him back. That's a fact. Well,
that much we know. I just didn't know if anyone had an insight into why.
No, I don't know. Maybe he had dick pics on shagging Daniel Levy. Who knows? Allegedly. In the fast. Big up to you, Shorty. And Dean Law says, "Get yourself down the stadium, big man. What's going on here?" Mate, there's still an echo, Hugo. Let me put you on mute for 1 second. Get yourself down, big man. What's going on here? What's going on is every time I go to the stadium, mate, I get a little bit. I get sick, mate. I get sick, and I end up drinking too much, and then it's just like a late night, and then you got to get the train back where I live, and it's a nightmare. So I'll be at the Arsenal game. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. We'll definitely do a big all-dayer at the Arsenal one. I don't mind getting smashed for that one. But yeah, tonight I'm here. Are you going tonight, Dino? Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you very much, buddy. And Chris K.00 told you before, Chris, you need to change your name to Chris Co.6. Was it not 6'9"? What? Oh, K9. Chris K.9 is what I want you to, because you've got a dog in your picture. And that dog is a fucking beast of a dog. I love him. Big up to you, mate. Choo choo to you. Let's we've got another sort of 10-15 minutes, guys. Let me just get the thing back up here. So I can't find the comments on him about. I thought the comments were here about Pochettino, but on starting the season saying we will lose matches. This is part of the zeitgeist on today's show. I think there's two things. It needs to be the nice combo between reality. Oh, there you go. I swear to God, I haven't seen this. I swear to God, I haven't seen this before.
and this is like the day after we've had the Pochettino, I'm going to give you jam and donuts.
Yeah. He takes the jam out of my donut. And Pochettino puts it back in. Between reality and selling hope, there's a fine balance. I knew it would be a tough season. I didn't expect it to be as tough as it's been. So I think that's down to injuries, down to margins, down to a lot of things. You can say 2 red cards after 30 minutes, and that's not what you planned for. A lot of seasons, you go through a season with 0 red cards, so it hasn't been straightforward. I know where we want to go, and I see a lot of good things going on as well. And that just how can I say it's not as positive when you don't win the games. So even he acknowledges it, right? That's the thing. It's the difference between selling hope. You got to sell a little bit, mate. You've got to sell something. I swear to God, I hadn't seen that comment before. I've just looked at it now. So even he's aware that he's not the best salesman. Well, it's too late, mate. It's too late to apologize. He can't change his mind now. He can't start selling hope now, right? The cast is die, Rain.
The reality is that fan culture is a thing, right? And Spurs fans have a particular culture. We need hope. We need vision. We need attacking, flowing football, right? This is absolutely what we need. And maybe they didn't need that at Brentford. Maybe at Brentford, what they needed was some sort of stability. They needed, they needed the teacher to bring through the players and to deliver a nice, level message. And that worked there. I'm now fully in this place. And that worked at Brentford. And he was nice and comfortable at Brentford. He wasn't challenged in the way that we challenge our coaches at Tottenham Hotspur. And now he's stepped into our culture and he doesn't match. Whereas Pochettino absolutely matches our culture. It's the same way that Bill Nick matched our culture. When you see those slogans and the phrases that came out of the Bill Nick era, this calls to us as Spurs fans. It's all about hope. It's all about playing the right way. It's all about behaving and being the right way. And unfortunately, Frank is a little bit too pragmatic for us.
What are you saying, Matt?
Yeah, I think I'd agree with what Rain said. And maybe Brentford have been held back by Frank, because if you look at them at the moment, they could be in Europe for the first time. Since they've come into the Premier League, they're scoring more goals. They look better as a team structure and unit. And they look like a good enough, team to watch. And they lost 2 of their best players in the summer. So, I haven't been having this manager for, I think it's better since been the Arsenal game, to be honest. I agree with Sean, there were some green shoots, but I mean, if we're not inspired, then I don't know how you inspire the players. I mean, he had to even bring someone like Heitinger in maybe to try and inspire the players more. And since obviously Heitinger's come in, there was a bit more front-footed pressing type football had come back. Now, the injuries are obviously a massive part, but I think his treatment of the players is not very fair. I think the way he let Jed Spence and Van der Ven get away with their behaviour by calling them out after the game and, in front of the TV cameras, that's not good. And then you're letting players get away with that sort of thing. And then if I'm a player, or if you're a teacher or whatever you are, and you let a child get away with that behaviour, they're going to do it again, or they're going to think they can walk all over you. You see it, you know, with sort of cover teachers and things like that. Look, when you know, when you're at school and your teacher's off for a couple of weeks as they're ill, and your cover teacher comes in and she can't handle it, and she starts crying because she can't handle the pressure or the, you know, because the kids have run her out of the classroom. It just reminds me exactly of what this guy is at our club. He's not the right guy, not the right fit. And I just don't think he's got the cojones to take the job on and to have us as fans. And he's called us out on many occasions as well, which it just hasn't helped at all.
Yeah, 100%. I can't find the comments from Thomas Frank on Pochettino, but I can remember them. He basically said, when you get close to winning, Hugo, he said, when you get close to winning, you're always going to be remembered well. But it was like, yeah, if you want to sing his name, basically. He deserves to be his name to be sung, which I think is kind of as about as middle management of response as you can get. There's no fire, there's no spite, there's nothing. Mourinho wouldn't have said that, would he? Mourinho would have gone, just wait until I'm done here. You'll be singing my name louder. He would have said something.
Where's the fire? Where's the fire or the passion back to try and ignite something? It's like he doesn't have anything.
Mourinho would have come back and said, "Well, I'm the one that's the special one," or something. You know, he'd have.
Yeah.
But then that's the thing, right? Is respect is earned, right? And I'd imagine when you know, Frank the school teacher rocked in, you know, having never won anything, having never played, you know, as a professionally or anything else, and you do have a bunch of seasoned internationals in our squad. You know, you're probably like, well, all right, what you got, mate?
I mean, Hugo, that rebel again. I'm going back to the Poch interview. He shared a hotel room with Maradona, for crying out loud. I mean, any footballer who is like, you know, which famous footballers have you know, which footballers have you met? Oh, I bunked with Maradona. Flipping heck. Okay, I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
Okay, you tell me what.
You know, Poch is woven into the Argentine fabric of our club. You know, it started as we were the first club to bring over, you know, Argentines when we had Sevilla and Ardiles, right? When they came in, you know, to play for us in early 80s, right? So as far as that's concerned, like, you know, above and beyond that, like Pochettino, Ardiles is still around. He married an English girl, right? And, you know, he's still around the club plenty and whatever else. He's obviously very close with Poch still. Poch still lives in London. I'm like, you know, and you asked a question a couple of days ago whether anyone thinks that, you know, Romero would, you know, someone will get a better tune out of Romero and he'd stop acting, you know, like so much of an idiot if Pochettino is in charge. I think so, because he's got, you know, he's got what he needs behind him. He's been there, he's done that. Like Romero, he played defender for Argentina, you know, in a winning World Cups. I think was Pochettino in a World Cup winning side? I think he was, wasn't he? Am I making that up?
I have no idea.
Pochettino?
Yeah.
I don't think he was.
He wasn't in a World Cup. He was. I think he was in the. He was in the one where Maradona was on his last legs, right?
94, 98. Yeah.
Yeah. So didn't win a World Cup, but the point being is, you know, he's been there and done that, and although he didn't win a World Cup, you know, he's won a lot of other things.
Regardless of all that bollocks, right? The geezer fucking tells us what we want to hear.
Yeah, but that's it.
That's enough for me right now, is it not?
It's one thing for him to tell us what we want to hear, but above and beyond anything else is we want to see it on the pitch, and he has.
It's not. You're not going to see. He's not going to come back and do any better than he did last time. He isn't. It's going to be a failure, but it's a failure that the Tottenham fans need to shag.
Well, maybe yes, and you know, maybe if your Brooklyn mate, you know, comes through on the 6th of March, and you know, who knows, it ends up being like a majority takeover and not a minority one. you know, for the whole.
Imagine if I could get an exclusive with him, right? And then within the next 12 months, he becomes the actual chairman of Tottenham.
The Don. Yeah, he becomes the Don.
Then all I'm going to get then is, Butler's just a shill for the club. He's on the payroll, clearly.
Yeah, then at least then you can be like,
by the way, you're absolutely
my chairman.
I will become an absolute shill.
My DJ.
Yeah.
Chill me up.
I'm shameless, bro.
I'll be your mouthpiece.
Get me to that island. Get me to that island. I'll do on little things.
1.6 bill of working capital with Poch at the helm.
Yeah.
Are you telling me if that was a situation?
Brooklyn,
if that were the situation, are you telling me that you reckon that Poch wouldn't succeed in the second go round in that situation?
Listen, I don't know, but I will sell it whichever way my DJ asked me to sell it. As long as I get myself in the tunnel club, as long as I get myself sat up there in the top spins, you know. Listen, you might not see me again. I might just disappear. But you know what? It was a good run while it lasted. I am as shameless as anyone when it comes to opportunity.
Rain might transition back at that stage.
All right, guys. Listen, we're going to round off because I've got to go and take the dog out for a walk, and we're back here in a couple of hours' time. Massive appreciation. We've got a couple of more super chats, I think. Big up to Shay Bryan. Big up to you, Shay. How you doing, mate? He says, big up, Shawnee. Great stuff. Lots of love. Big up to you, my man. Lots of love to you as well, mate. Big up to your dad. And John Luther Borrow. What a name. Big up to you, John. Thank you very much for the membership, my man. There's going to be a members phone-in show either tomorrow or Thursday during the day. And I promised my man Hugo and a little double cameo with his son Jasper. I know he wants to come on and say hello.
What day is that?
I don't know. Either tomorrow or Thursday. I'll let you know. For sure. But the member show will be on. If I'll do it in a time where hopefully it will work around Jasper's school time. It might be in the evening or something. But big up to you all. Matt, thank you very much for coming on, my man. And hopefully maybe see you later tonight in the post-match or the pre-match, whatever. You can come back on the pre-match, guys. Hugo, same to you. Thank you very much for coming on. And Rain, Dermatron, have you got a link? I can put is it let me get it in there. HTTPS www.youtube.com/@THFC. How do I do it? Is it hyphen till I die? Is that you're on mute, mate? You're on mute. You're still on mute.
I'm grabbing it.
Oh, you're putting it in for me. Okay. Stay there for 1 second, guys. Yeah, what's the predictions, guys? What's the predictions on the score, by the way?
I'll go 2-1 Spurs. I think we'll win tonight. I've got a feeling.
Hugo?
Head or heart?
Your gut.
My gut says 1-1. My heart, like what I'd like is 2-1.
I think if you want to have a bet tonight, guys, then the money is on 2-1 Tottenham or 1-1.
That's what I reckon.
Everyone I speak to is predicting either a score draw, but a low score draw, or 2-1 Tottenham win. That's not the chat we all saying.
So the reality is I'm not there tonight. I don't do midweek games, so my season ticket is empty because no ticket exchange seats are being bought apparently. There's something like there's easily 12,000 seats.
If anyone that's watching wants my ticket last minute, just email me, and as long as you got a CRN, I'll transfer it to you.
So therefore, I'm going for a 2-0 Tottenham win because I'm not there. It's cool. That's what happens.
Yeah, 100%. All right, guys. Listen, appreciate you, Rain. Appreciate you, Hugo. Appreciate you, Matt. Appreciate everyone for the super chats. Appreciate everyone for your attention. And we will see you in a couple of hours. 6:30, I think we're doing it back here. A 7:30 kickoff. Outside chance of a rabbit hole this evening as well. Love you all. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, bye.